Hey there, welcome back to another video at our little off-grid homestead in the mountains. I'm so glad so many of you loved meeting Veronica in the last video. My belly ached for a full day after filming from laughing so hard. Like, the muscles of my belly were sore. Veronica's been getting into some more wild stuff behind the scenes, so you will definitely be seeing her again soon. My little belly is getting a little bigger each day. I'm in my second trimester and have been feeling amazing. So good within myself. These pregnancy hormones have been legit. Just feeling so calm and so happy, and I have been feeling the baby move for a few weeks now. It's so crazy. It is finally feeling like it's the real deal. Like it's really happening. I see a lot of you asking about the due date. We have not shared the due date, and we don't plan to publicly, just because I don't want a countdown, you know, especially if I go over 40 weeks. We'll just keep it private, but late winter, we will be expecting a new team member, and we are so excited. So like I said, within myself, I have felt amazing. Outside though, not like outside of our house, it's wonderful here, but the outside world I see online, it's wild. So especially because I'm pregnant and I'm trying to stay as stress-free as I possibly can, I've been really dedicated in staying off of the internet first thing in the morning to tune into what's going on in my world. It's so easy to just roll over and look at my phone, and I have been not doing that for my own sanity. I filmed several of my random mornings over the last few weeks to kind of show what I get into. I love to read. Spiritual Midwifery has been probably the most inspiring and helpful book that I have read so far, about pregnancy anyway. I love journaling. I've been making jewelry, especially beadwork lately, gotten back into that. I've been working on some cool beadwork leather bracelets that I will show you soon. I make sure to exercise daily, even just for a little bit, sometimes with my kettlebell, but more often going on a long walk with the dogs, and all of this at sunrise. I'm always a very early riser, and it's fun to watch the sun's position. It is getting more and more southern each day, and rises later and later. I'm very much looking forward to winter. All of our pinyon pines, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them are fruiting this year, which is super exciting. Pine nuts go for $40 to $50 a pound around here, and the trees only fruit every 4 to 8 years. So you better believe I've been out there harvesting. Foraging wild food lights me up. Some of you who've been around for a while might remember the video of the first year that we ever foraged for morel mushrooms. That was a highlight of my life, and a pretty hilarious video too. I'll put a card up in the corner of the screen right now so you can check it out if you haven't, after this video.
I just looked outside and nearly danced. I caught the Packrat. It has built a house in both vehicles. This is the time of year that they do it. I was about to lose my mind. I hope this is the only one. Here he is. Pretty absurdly cute and destructive. I'm gonna drive far, far away and release them because I hate to kill them because they're so cool. Man, they're destructive. Everybody says that they'll make their way back here, but I feel like if I drive like 15 miles, he's not gonna make his way back here. What other announcements? Oh, if you ever do release these guys, you gotta walk them far away from your car because they'll run and jump into your vehicle and ride home with you if you don't. Okay, mister. I was so frustrated the other day to find out that a Packrat had built a cactus house in like the tightest cavities of both of our engine bays in both vehicles. Oh, I don't know. I was thinking about why it frustrates me so much, and I feel like part of it is because it feels so vulnerable. Because our cars are already like old. Even when we bought them, they were both under 10 grand. So it doesn't take much electrical damage to effectively total our cars. Not that we would do that, but if we had insurance, we carry liability. But if we had full coverage, they would just total our vehicles if a Packrat got to them. So I think that's part of it. It's so destructive. I wouldn't have a problem with them if they would just build a house like not in the engine bay and not chew wires. But since they do that, it makes it a little more frustrating. I was so pissed off the other night. I was thinking if I found one, I'd just shoot it. But then I see the damn things and they're so cute and cool that I'm like, well, I'm not gonna shoot it. So, thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
I just made a batch of bone broth. This is my second batch. The first one I made in my Instant Pot as well. I'd seen people online pressure cook their bone broth for 3 hours and it turned out nice and gelatinous and perfect like it's supposed to. Mine did not, so a friend of mine recommended that I cook it for longer. And it hadn't crossed my mind that I can use my Instant Pot on the slow cook function now that we have more solar power. So I cooked it for 24 hours and we'll see what it looks like. As you'll be seeing a lot more of in this video and future videos, I have become a domesticated wild woman of home-cooked food. I don't know if it's pregnancy, or if it's that we finally have a functioning kitchen and enough solar power to use appliances at my leisure. I'm just whipping out deliciousness left and freaking right, and I'm an artist obsessed, and my Instant Pot is my muse. This, by the way, is our new kitchen sink, right under here. Farmhouse style, stainless steel. We got it for 200 bucks. It's brand new, unused. Normally they're around $400 or $500, so we're pretty stoked about that. If it jellifies, then I'll know I did it right. Otherwise it's just broth, which is good too.
Rather than being what?
Stock, broth, and there's something else. They're different. Stock is different than broth.
How?
I don't know. I saw that on somebody's website, that those two things are different, but then I didn't read what the difference is. I learned too late with my Instant Pot that you should have multiple seals, or at least clean off your seal really well in between uses. I made a very meat-flavored yogurt because I hadn't cleaned off my seal. It was still good. Could be worse.
How?
Could be worse.
God, have you ever eaten a spoiled carrot? I've never that quickly felt like I was gonna puke in my life than I did yesterday as soon as I tasted that flavor of a spoiled carrot. Don't eat spoiled carrots.
Okay.
This is, what do you want me to say? I know near nothing about this. This is a bucket of bokashi, which is a fermenting process using basically beer.
No. Here, should we switch?
Yeah.
I didn't want to be on camera. This is our bokashi fermented compost system that we got from our friend Gabby. It's been sitting now full for 2 weeks, fermenting with the bokashi grain. As this ferments, it releases a liquid into the bottom, which is a compost tea that we can feed our garden. So this is full of water. You have to dilute it 100 to 1. Okay. Now because this is full, we're gonna bury it, which starts the second phase of decomposition. It's gone through the first phase. Everything is gonna look kind of like it did going into it, not broken down. Once we bury it in the dirt, after a few weeks, it will be completely broken down. It's like, I guess, one of the fastest ways to compost.
That was a really good job.
Gabby said the mold is a great sign.
And that blue thing just keeps the, wow, is that a mold bed that's holding it
No,
together?
that's paper towel.
Oh, okay. The blue thing keeps the solids from going down so that you can extract the tea easier, huh?
Yes. Yeah, this doesn't smell like stinky, rotten. It smells like broken down.
Like stomach acid.
Yeah, it's weird. It just smells like plant matter that's breaking down.
Very good job, Elsa.
We did it.
We very much did. Pilot, that is not for you. You understand? Pilot.
She won't do anything.
It's not for you.
She won't.
And for all of you wondering where the little dog is, what a nice spot, camp. That's a good spot for you, mister. Do you want to come inside? No? Okay. I'm honestly fairly impressed with this garden for how little work we put into it this year.
It was all that rain.
Yeah. Are you excited to garden more?
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can like automate some things with Arduinos and moisture sensors and temperature sensors and all that kind of stuff though.
Not even necessarily the work of the garden, but the work of creating our garden beds and our garden itself.
Yeah.
But once that's done...
And the greenhouse, that'll be
Yeah.
fairly expensive too.
If everything was ready to go, we had the beds, we had the soil, everything was just ready, I am so excited. I think I finally got kind of a grip on what I'm doing.
And we're figuring out what we like.
That has been one of the most important reasons for having these experimental gardens, is to figure out what all we want to grow. Is this clogged? Hello, little guy.
This is the second stick bug this year. I wonder if they're just all over.
And we just don't see them because they look like sticks.
Are you
right? Good guess.
Yeah, really good. What are we doing here?
I'm making sauce. We have all these beefsteak tomatoes from our CSA box, our local veggie box that we bought this year. So we need to cook the tomatoes. I'm gonna make, you need to tend to that?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
I was just gonna make ravioli and tortellini and put salt on it because I'm starving and I haven't eaten yet today. But Elsa said she would make a homemade sauce, so I found that to be agreeable.
You are my pretty Fraulein. Fraulein, Fraulein. My pretty Fraulein. Shit, what?
That is good. I'll smack your mama.
She would not like that.
Where have I seen the tripod? Is it upstairs?
Not anymore.
Where is it now?
Couldn't tell you.
Gosh, that's helpful.
Oh, it's standing up by the bathroom window. What's helpful?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh.
I swear sometimes when I talk to you, you just go on autopilot and don't even know that I'm talking to you. Because you're just living your own life. You ever notice that?
Need to pick some oregano. Why don't you follow me?
See?
Why don't you follow
See
me?
what I mean? That was perfect example. Oh, you can put a couple of our tomatoes and then it'll be homegrown.
Oh, okay. A whole dang pot of oregano.
Hi, Keep.
These are better snacking tomatoes.
Yeah, maybe we should just
Snack them.
So you're gonna blend this?
Yep. We bought some sparkling water and Dr. Pepper for a friend's birthday party. We decided to never do the Dr. Pepper again
This is
because,
the first time we bought Dr. Pepper in over a decade, probably.
and it's all that I can think about. So I'm gonna drink, I think we only have one more, and I'm gonna drink it right now.
No, it's not to share. I put it in the freezer
You did?
just a minute ago.
Just now? So you were thinking about Dr. Pepper too?
Yes, I was gonna drink it.
The one that was right here?
Yeah.
You put it in the freezer?
Yeah, because I wanted it ice cold. Dr. Pepper.
That is so funny. This is my first ever homemade sauce and it was so easy. That's pretty good. I could use basil, I think. We snacked on some of these raw pine nuts. Man, they are so good. I think the common way to eat pine nuts is to toast them and salt them and eat them like sunflower seeds. Our trees have not popped. This is the first year that our trees have fruited.
They might have
to
the
my
first
knowledge.
year we were here.
Yeah, and we just wouldn't have known what to do with them or had the resources really to do much with them. For some reason, we were just more excited about collecting the pine pollen than anything.
Well, that was easier. Is that just like a salt paste that's forming?
It's not supposed to be a paste, it's supposed to coat them all. So that guy will be a little salty.
They're not easy to break apart like a sunflower seed, you know? Like a sunflower seed halves itself.
Also not ideal and there's nothing inside.
Yeah, a lot of these don't have anything in them.
I was never very good at sunflower seeds. So this is probably not my sport. It's really not for me.
By this evening, you'll probably have eaten a good 6 or 8 of them.
I hit up James and Doreen, and James said that the pine nuts that are hollow either weren't pollinated or there's a little bug that gets into them and eats them from the inside. He said to put them in water. The ones that sink are good, the ones that float are not. Look at all them floaters. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, the ones that sink are good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is he for real?
Yeah.
Oh.
You need like a strainer spoon.
I need a lot of things. I'm just a girl. Wow, what a grand old waste of my time. Look at all these that are just not nutted. Well, now I know. Good thing we didn't just eat this whole thing of fruitless nuts. Oh boy.
What's this? Look at what we can make! Gosh.
Oh, this is an air fryer. I forgot.
Who even bought this?
I wanted to buy this because I can fit a small pot in here to make sourdough. It's electric, it's an oven, it can be an air fryer. This is just kind of like a temporary option, a temporary solution for not having an oven before we do get our real deal full oven.
But this will still be nice once we do have our oven for times when we have a surplus of solar, because then we can use this without burning any fuel.
When I was in college and stuff, and my parents got one of these toaster ovens, I never used the oven. I think that we will use the crap out of this thing. And I invested in a good one. Buy it once. What's the phrase?
Buy once, cry once.
Buy once, cry. Yeah. I did cry a little bit. This thing is not cheap. Careful. When was the last time we lived in a space with an oven? 2016. It's been almost 10 years with living without an oven. It's like when we got our fridge. Life upgrade. Yeah, look at that. Toast, bagel, broil, bake, roast, warm, pizza.
And I already got us a frozen pizza for it, so.
Of all the things.
What do you mean of all the things? I should got pizza bites. Damn it.
I bought flour, sugar, and all the things that I think you need to bake stuff.
Can you use it like this too?
No, what?
It's got feet on the back. Oh, maybe that's so that it doesn't touch a wall.
Bake.
Acting like you know everything. Notoriously...
Have you ever cooked with an oven on its back?
No, but I thought like so you could put pots in there or something. Elsa is notoriously the worst online shopper that has ever lived. And whenever she shops, it makes her poop herself.
What do you mean by that?
Like you actually have to poop whenever you shop.
During first trimester when I was constipated, I would online shop so that I could go to the bathroom. Yeah. It stresses me out in just the right way that it gets my bowels moving. So I'm not a very good online shopper at all.
It's like every time you buy something online, you're just totally surprised by all of it when it gets here. Like you just bought a shirt and you're like, this isn't the color I thought it was.
It freaks me out. I finally, for the first time in years, bought myself new underwear.
Since high school.
I thought I was buying regular underwear, ended up being all high-waisted thongs. So, I don't know. I scare myself. I think in this video I just made spaghetti sauce too.
Wow.
What's it like? What's it like?
What are you? Modern homestead chic? Oh, like trad wife.
Oh, yes, that's me.
Hashtag trad wife.
This is for pizza.
You're so intuitive. You're so cute. I haven't seen you this excited in a long time.
We haven't had an oven in a long time. Been living like a cave troll. Smart oven.
Okay, I'll let you read through that front to back and then we'll get back to you.
Okay, thanks. All I really want to eat is my skillet cookie.
Are you gonna make one now? Really made me feel better about the bathroom and stuff talking to James and just realizing that normally every single step would be contracted out and I'm having to learn every single step instead.
We would have a plumber here, an electrician here,
A gas guy.
a shower finishing, like a tile company, and everybody needs to profit off of their work that they do. But there is a need for plumbers and electricians, and there's definitely a need for them.
Well, especially when you're on the grid, because then, like, that's why solar is illegal a lot of places, like batteries especially, because you can like back charge the grid. If one of your neighbor's electricity's out and the electrician shuts down the power at the breaker, and then your batteries are putting power back onto the lines, then they could get popped thinking that everything's dead and it's live from your batteries charging. So that makes sense. But if you're independent from the grid, adjacent to the grid, then you should be able to have batteries if you just opt out of it. But then the power company, like Monopoly or government subsidized duopoly or whatever it is, wouldn't have as much power and guaranteed customers.
I do think it's a good idea to have all these various codes within larger population areas.
To an extent, but like, I was just talking to my friend in Kansas City, and they bought property and we're gonna build a house all up to...
Well, this is crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and he's like good at dealing with this kind of stuff. Like that's what he does for his job.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, and it's like in a bad part of town, but the codes are so strict that he can't even possibly build his house because of all the different new environmental codes. When it's like, okay, yeah, we should have like excellent insulation on all of our houses, but once it becomes too idealistic with the idea of like saving carbon emissions or whatever, then it like prices people out of being able to build. Meanwhile, they're like single wides all around him. Like no shade on single wides, but they don't like meet the green initiatives or whatever for their insulation.
That's a good point.
I don't know, it's too idealistic, and I think that's part of why housing is so phenomenally expensive. It's just stupid expensive to build a new house and like meet all the codes, even though a lot of the like green codes they have good intentions. What actually happens is it prices people out of homes. I think a lot of people that push for and write that legislation don't understand the downstream effects of it. It's like, why not? Like everyone should be able to live in a house that is like super duper efficient, no thermal loss, and is completely sealed up, when in effect that makes it so that you have less people that can afford to live in a house at all. It's kind of like knocking down business buildings and then rebuilding a green building, or like junking or sending a car that's 10 years old to the junkyard because it can't pass emissions, and then going and buying a new car that like all the lithium was mined with slave labor and everything. It's like, good idea on the surface, but there's a lot more going on here. There are the thoughts.
I'm honestly thinking about my cookie. I think
Are you gonna eat it with cookies and cream or vanilla?
I could do both. Do you want some?
Yes.
I don't know why it's sunk.
I think I like more ice cream
Then cookie?
than you do.
I like even amounts. You get the same amount in each bite.
Thanks, sweetheart. You've been scheming on this for like 4 hours.